The mist hung low over the ancient stones, a soft, ethereal veil that seemed to whisper tales of old Ireland. Ilara, with her worn boots and a heart full of quiet wonder, felt a profound connection to this land. She wasn't just walking, she was listening, breathing in the quietude of centuries, letting the emerald green seep into her very soul. This particular afternoon, she had wandered further than usual, drawn by the faint outline of a forgotten Roth on a distant hill. The air was cool, carrying the scent of wet earth and distant heather, and the silence was so complete it felt like a presence. It was then, in that profound stillness, that she heard it, not with her ears at first, but with a deep primal tremor in the ground, a rhythmic thudding, growing louder, impossibly fast. Before she could even pinpoint the direction, a shadow detached itself from the encroaching twilight, hurtling towards her across the open field. It was a horse, black as a moonless night, its hooves striking the earth with a powerful, echoing beat. And upon its back, a rider. But there was no head. No, this was not some trick of the light, nor a fleeting glimpse. This was a presence, stark and undeniable. The figure was cloaked, dark against the deepening sky, and where a head should have been, there was only an unsettling, empty space, a void that somehow still commanded attention. Ilara froze, her breath catching in her throat, not in terror, not entirely, but in a breathless awe. This was beyond anything she had read in books, beyond the most vivid of legends. The Headless Rider, the Dullahan of Irish folklore, was not meant to simply gallop past. It was said they stopped for no one, their passage a harbinger of something inevitable. Yet this rider did stop. Just a few feet from her, the immense black horse reared, its silent power shaking the very air. The rider, without a face or eyes to meet hers, seemed to fix upon her with an unseen intensity. And then, with a movement that was both deliberate and swift, a hand, gloved and pale, reached into the folds of the cloak. There was a glint of metal, a flick of the wrist, and something flew through the air, spinning end over end, landing with a soft chink at Ilara's feet. The horse then brought its hooves down with a muffled thud, and with a silent, impossible turn, the rider was gone, disappearing back into the mists as quickly as it had appeared. The thudding receded, leaving the landscape once again in profound silence, a silence made even deeper by the recent impossible interruption. Ilara stood there, her heart thrumming against her ribs. Slowly, cautiously, she knelt. Lying on the damp grass was a coin. It wasn't gold or silver, but a dull, ancient bronze, intricately carved. Her fingers trembled as she picked it up. One side bore an image she couldn't quite decipher, swirling lines that seemed to shift and writhe. But the other side, that was unmistakable. Etched into the worn metal, stark and clear, was a date. It was her birth date. Day, month, and year. And beneath it, in characters that seemed to hum with an unsettling energy, was a single word: soon. She held the coin, its weight surprisingly substantial in her palm, and the implications settled over her like a cold shroud. Her birth date, and a time marked simply as soon. The legendary Dullahan, who traditionally carried a human spine as a whip and called out the names of those whose time was up, had not spoken. It had simply delivered this cryptic, intensely personal message. Was this a warning, a prophecy, or something else entirely? The walk back to her rented cottage was a blur. The Irish countryside, usually so comforting, now felt imbued with a new, profound mystery. She spent the evening in a trance, the coin clutched in her hand, the single word soon echoing in her mind. She researched, delving into old texts and online forums, trying to find any mention of the Dullahan giving a coin, of a personal message. There was nothing. This seemed unique, intended solely for her. The experience began to reshape her world, gently at first, then with increasing clarity. What did soon mean? Was it a premonition of an ending, a final curtain call? Or was it an invitation to truly begin, to awaken to the preciousness of each fleeting moment? The coin, a tangible piece of the impossible, became a constant companion, a quiet reminder. She found herself living with a new kind of awareness. The things she had always put off, the conversations she meant to have, the places she wanted to see, the stories she wished to write, suddenly took on an urgent importance. The soon wasn't a death sentence, she realized, but a life sentence. It was a call to presence, to authenticity, to shedding the weight of the trivial and embracing the depth of the profound. Her fear gradually gave way to a quiet resolve, then to a strange kind of peace. The Headless Rider, that silent deliverer of the coin, had not been a bringer of dread, but a catalyst. It had forced her to confront the ultimate mystery of time, to acknowledge its finite nature, not with despair, but with gratitude. Each sunrise, each conversation, each quiet breath became a gift, imbued with a new, vibrant significance. The days turned into weeks, the weeks into months. The soon remained an undefined horizon. It could be tomorrow or a decade from now. And in that beautiful uncertainty, Ilara found her true freedom. She learned to listen more deeply, to love more fiercely, to walk through the world with open eyes and an open heart, ready for whatever the unfolding journey might bring. The Headless Rider, that silent deliverer of the coin, had not taken anything from her. It had given her everything. The clarity to live, truly live, in the now. The coin, once a symbol of an unknown future, became a testament to a vibrant present. And so we are left with this fascinating question. If you were given such a coin, if time itself whispered a personal message to you, how would you choose to live? What would you do with your soon? We would love to hear your thoughts on Ilara's extraordinary encounter and what it stirs within you. Please share your reflections in the comments below. And if you found this story compelling, consider subscribing and joining our community for more tales that explore the mysteries of our world and the human heart. Until next time, may your journey be filled with wonder.